Well, hey, welcome to Riding Along with the Rector. My name is Father Andrew, and just wanted to do some off the top of my head thoughts about Holy Scripture as I was driving. I just had a lot of stuff boiling up in there that I thought would be a joy to share with people. So hopefully these episodes have been helpful to you. Last time I talked about how sin enters in the picture through mankind's disobedience. And so mankind, in doing what God told them they shouldn't do, are now in a state separated from God. And this is going to animate the rest of the whole how the Holy Scripture is written. Adam knew his wife, it says. Of course, it means they had marital relations. They have two children, Cain and Abel. Now, Cain uh, is an agricultural worker, so he creates calories by growing the calories, and Abel is a hunter. He creates calories by eating animals, by entering in animal protein, which is new. It used to be animals were partner workers to mankind, and now they are also a source of food. Their death will sustain mankind. And so we're starting to see the echoes of our sacrificial system, the death of an animal to sustain humankind. So anyway, it comes time for them to worship God, and Cain brings agricultural products as a sacrifice, and Abel brings um, animal meat as his sacrifice. And God liked Abel's sacrifice, but did not like Cain's sacrifice. And Cain gets very angry. He's very upset that God chose his over the other. And God says, like, you knew the right thing to do was to bring an animal for sacrifice. Now we got to pause here and say, we had not yet heard God say this to Cain. So there must be some part of the story that was not written down where God gave some parameters to Cain and Abel about how they will worship God. The most appropriate way to worship God is to bring animals for slaughter, um and I guess Cain would have been required to sell, grain to buy animals to bring before God. And he chooses not to do that. He instead decides, you know what, it'll be fine. I'll just bring what I have. Um, and he takes on a bring what I got kind of mentality to worship. Instead of worshiping as God asked him to worship, he just makes some assumptions. And God takes Abel's sacrifice, rejects Cain's sacrifice, and Cain gets upset. And God says, you knew the right thing to do. Now be careful. Sin is always crouching like a tiger at the door. You got to be careful to do what I invite you to do. Well, instead of taking the little slap on the wrist God gives him, Cain waits in the field and basically jumps his brother and kills him and buries him in the dirt. And it says that the blood of Abel called out from the dirt, and God said, "Where is your brother Abel?" And Cain says, "Am I my brother's keeper?" And God calls him out and says, "You've killed your brother, and from now on, you will be a marked man. Like, this murder is going to change you. Your identity is now wrapped up in bringing death onto somebody else," and he's marked with that. But he does say, if anybody kills Cain as a retribution, they shall suffer 7 times more. Now, 7 in the scripture um, is a distinguishing number of, like, this is perfect or whole or complete. If you kill Cain, a whole and complete disaster will come upon you. You will get 7 times the disaster that you try to bring upon Cain. And so Cain is cast out from the presence, even that the bit of presence of God that's left. There's now distance between Cain and God. And God starts a new line through his son, Seth. And so there's a third child, Seth, who marries. Who does he marry? The scholars don't see, or whoever is writing down the text for us does not seem to be concerned that we know all the details of who Seth could be married to, and the genealogies of it all. On the other hand, we do start to get into some significant genealogical things as Genesis starts to record this person was born to that person. And so we're going to get into that a little bit in our next lesson. Hope you're having a great day. Hope to talk to you soon.